Well, the sales are on and everyone's losing their fucking shit about Aldi selling LRFs. So let's go through a quick little review on this Aldi special, the Signify laser range finder. Look, you get what you pay for. It's not as good as what you could get if you paid, fucking $500 for an LRF, but it does do the job somewhat accurately. Now, it's got a couple of modes. You activate it by pressing the power button. There's two buttons on the top, mode and power. Activate it by pressing the power button. If you look through, you can see what you're doing. So power button turns it on, press power button again, it's going to read you a meter. At the top, it's going to give you the range. The middle is going to have a reticle of what you're aiming at, and the bottom is going to have your signal strength, if you will. All your signal strength, really, all it's doing is telling you how much of the laser it's receiving back into the system. So the objective lens on this is only 25mm, so it's kind of small. So light coming into the system is an issue. Even in bright light, it's kind of dark, and if you're in a low light situation, you may not be able to see what you're firing a laser at. So keep that in mind if you're going to use one of these. If you're going into a hunting area, I would probably go in earlier. LR for your spots. You know how far away everything is, so that when it gets darker, you can't use this, you know how far away everything is. So firstly, let's see if you know what laser means. It means this. It is light, so remember that light is going to diffuse and get bigger in beam as it goes further out. So, contrary to popular belief, a laser is not really pinpoint and go out and straight back. It does get bigger. So, the further away the target is, the bigger the beam of light is going to get, which means if it hits multiple different things, it's going to come back and give you multiple different ranges, which is called a multiple return. So this, you will get multiple returns a fucking lot with this, and you'll get this with most handheld LRFs, because if you shake while the laser is trying to return from whatever it's hit back into the system, and if you're shaking like fucking Michael J. Fox, it's not going to be able to get back in, it's going to give you a no return. In this, it's going to give you end. If you have a no return at the top where the range would be, it's going to say END, end, no return, and then you're going to have to fire it again to get range. They say out to 1,000 meters. I have had a return out at 1,000 meters with this. I think it was 997 meters or something like that. It's very hard. You're going to have to brace yourself. I had to brace myself against a tree to hold the system very still to be able to get that return to come back in. Now, there's no screw hole here to mount this onto a tripod or anything, so you're going to have to find ways of making yourself stable as you fire the laser to get a return. Now, accuracy-wise, it's not too bad. We actually fired this against my mate's Bushnell a few months ago now. Now, this signifier was giving us a range of 46 meters, and his Bushnell was giving us a range of, I think it was 51 meters. So 4 to 5 meter difference there at 50 meters. I don't know if that range differentiation changes the further it gets out, but it seems to be, when we use this in tandem with a good Bushnell one, it seemed to be within 5 to 10 meters of the actual range. Now, that's not really going to impact you that greatly unless, you're using a fucking bow and, you have to have your 10 meter range increments exactly correct or you're going to miss. Or, if you're firing a round that drops really far at long range, like a 308, if you're 10 meters out on your range at like 500 meters with 308, you're probably not going to hit the target. So in those instances, yes, it's not as accurate and it may impede your shooting. However, for most people, let's face it, most people's estimation of range is pretty fucking shit. So it's good to get you in a ballpark of know where your point of aim is going to be at a given range. So all in all, not a bad piece of kit. As I said, you get what you pay for. I think I got this a year ago for $100. I think they just went on sale recently for $120. So reasonably priced, and it's a good little piece of kit. I keep that in my Vino rig and I use it all the time. I would upgrade to a more expensive one, but at the moment I don't have a need because this is working well for me at the moment. So there you go, the Signify LRF from Aldi. Go and get yourself one, it's not too bad.